Hi, it's Jez here from Nigezza.co.uk. Thank you for joining me today. So it's the 1st of October. Can't believe that. I know I say that every month, but I can never believe it when it is the 1st of the month and it being October already. And I'm filming this on September the 21st. I'm looking out my window and it's glorious sunshine and beautiful blue skies with Simpson clouds. So it doesn't feel like October at all. And we're doing winter home decor is the theme of the Stamp Around UK blog hop, but video hop, not blog, video hop. So everybody taking part are UK demonstrators, and there's links down below to everybody else's video, so do please go and hop round and see what everybody else has made as their home decor. And it was winter, so that could be anything wintry or any of the sort of winter holidays. Of course, being October, one of the holidays in October is Halloween. And I don't normally do much for Halloween. When the kids were little, decorate the house, but not so much now. But I've half made it, and the other half is going to be identical to this, but it's going to have Halloween on it and going the other way. Yeah, so I have used, these are on the clearance rack, these little coffins. So you get a pack of 12, I believe. Yeah, 12, and they're £2.60 at the moment. So if you are making Halloween treats, these would be superb as a little treat, or you could just make them for little table decorations. I thought this would be a nice little table decoration, or indeed look on your mantelpiece. So they come and they're all ready scored for you to use. And I made this one up, and I then thought, oh, actually I've got this bark embossing folder, could make it look a little bit wood-like. So I'm going to do this one emboss so we can see the difference. This is a little bit too wide to go in that way, so I had to slant it, but it will go in, so the grain is slanted. This one will go in that way on, which is great. So I'm just going to get that embossed, and then I'll show you how we put the boxes together. So there it is, done, and that comes out lovely. And I say all of these are pre-scored, ready to be put together, so they're quite easy to put together. So I'll just fold them all over, give them a little bit of burnish. I think I might be going against, no I am. It's just a little bit harder once you've run it through your embossing folder, but it's nevertheless doable. And I think it's worth doing. So just folding them all over. And then you've got your little tabs on the side here. Might be worth maybe burnishing these before you go through the embossing folder, but hey ho, I didn't do that, so I'll just have to manage. So I'm very excited to see what other people have done. I do like making home decor for Christmas. I have quite a lot and building up quite a bit of a stash over the years of doing Stampin' Up videos. So yeah, I know, I reuse them year on year. So going to use a bit of Tombow because that's quite nice and quick drying. Going to do the bottom first, and then I build the top round the bottom. So bits of Tombow on here. Tombow is quite quick drying. Could use tear and tape, but it isn't. It isn't too. Doesn't take too long, this project. I've already die cut out the greeting, and that's from the Word Wishes dies. So we've got lots of greetings on there. We've got a happy and a merry, and then you've got the only one you haven't got birthday in it, which I was a little bit disappointed. That could have that would have just made this ideal. So we've got Father's Day, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Christmas, St. Patrick's. Yeah, so you know, all the sort of occasions that you could want, which is quite fab. So we've got these flaps. So nice little crafting project for children. Now in the UK we do break up for half term. Usually Halloween falls during half term. I can't remember when the 31st. I think it's at a weekend, so I think it'll be the second weekend of the half term holidays. So it might be a nice little project at £2.60 for 12. It's a good little project, little, you know, cheap thing to buy to get your kids crafting for Halloween, or make them yourself if you're having a little Halloween party. We used to have big parties at Halloween, quite along the similar line to the kids' birthday parties. They'd invite their friends, they'd all dress up, we'd have spooky food, swamp jelly, we'd have quavers as trolls' fingernails. The jelly used to be food, used to use black food colouring, and we'd put in all sorts of things floating in it. You know, you'd get those, we'd get eyeballs sweets and snake sweets and skeletons and what have you, and we'd stick them in there whilst it's set and have little signs. Swamp this way. Used to be cool. Right, so I'm building this around the bottom just to make sure we have a tight fit, although I'm not actually fitting the lid to the box, but if you were, then I like doing it this way. And then even though it's sort of like cut and scored, it is still quite easy to overstick it so it doesn't fit on. So that is how we'd make it up, and then that fits really nicely. I do like the look of that with the wood grain. It is nice little touch. It's a shame we can't get the bottom with the grain going straight up. The grain goes slightly diagonal, but it's okay. A little bit of RIP on there. Nice little treat box if you want to give little Halloween party favours. But we are not doing that. We are making a little bit of home decor. So I want to line the middle with a bit of red, so it's a little bit like it's Dracula's coffin. So I'm going to use this as a little bit of a template, and I'm going to use pencil to sort of draw around. So I'm putting it down at the bottom there to give me a nice straight line, and putting that corner piece over there, so that bit's really easy to draw in that bit and that bit and that bit and that bit. I didn't cover the inside of the lid, but you could, but I didn't. So then I just simply cut that out. I've got long scissors, so it is quite simple to just go up those pencil lines. But you could add a bit of glue if you wanted to, but they just went in quite nicely. So that was that. Then what I want to do is I want to do it this way round so that they go together like so, so that we have Halloween on here. So I'll stick my Halloween on there, and we've got a nice little scary ghost there. I'm going to attach those. I only just folded this around, but I need to attach it. So the ghost is made using the Penguin Builder Punch. So a little bit of Whisper White. Punch out. And then just take the arms off. So we just go straight up there. Oh, I sort of, actually, no, I didn't. I went in a bit. So go from that corner to there is what I did. So you get a nice little ghosty shape. And then to get it's a bit like the film Scream. To get those, I have used the little droplet from Sweet Ice Cream. So this little droplet there, bit of Memento or any black that you've got, and I put it with the pointy bit at the top for the eyes and the pointy bit coming down for the nose. So I put the open mouth. So I put that one on first, so I've got the center point, and then turn it round for the eyes. And that's how I got my little ghosty ghoul. I have just stuck it down flat. You could pop it up on dimensionals, but I didn't. So Halloween is a bit longer. There, I want it to go up a bit so that it, or should I have it coming down? Yeah, might have it coming down so it's like that, and then it doesn't matter if that's going over the top a little tad. That works okay for me. So I'm going to take my Tombow that's in my little fine tip bottle. There we go. And then we're just going to stick our ghosty ghoul on. So I'm going to take that out for now. So I'm going to have it so that the two bottoms are like so, and then rest that on there. And the way I got it to stay in place is I took a little strip of black card. So this is it's about 1/2 inch deep. I've got centimetres here, so about 1.5 centimetres. So I did a slightly smaller strip in a black card, and I cut 2 strips. I'm just going to take the end off this one actually, because this is the one I practiced on, but there's enough in it to use. So I'm cutting these to 1 5/8. There was a bit of trial and error. So 2 at 1 5/8. And then we're going to score at 1/2 inch. So we're going to fold over our flap, and what we do is we stick one to the underside there of the slope, and then the inside goes on the inside, and then on this side it goes at the top corner there, and that goes on the inside, and that's what holds it in place. So you're sticking them in those two positions there, and that's how they hold in place. So one stuck there and one stuck down there. So I stuck these on first, and that just kept it at the right angle that I was looking for. A nice little open coffin, always a little bit spooky for Halloween. And I'm saying this one's just the opposite way round to that one. That one obviously I went but I wanted them to sit like that. So we're going to put a bit of Tombow on there, choosing Tombow because it's got a bit wigglage, but it's also quite fast drying as well. And then they just go under there. And that one goes under there, and you can get your finger in to hold that in place. Easier to stick one side than the other. So stick that down and then get in and stick that side down. If you can't quite reach with your fingers, I just took my little pokey tool and held it in place with that. We've got the flat end of this as well, and you can slide that under, and that holds it in place like so. So you could leave it like that, but I thought it'd be nice to have a little bit more decoration, which is why I took this lovely ribbon. So this is the lovely mesh ribbon, and it kind of looks a bit sort of spider webby, so I thought that was quite nice, sort of draped around. So I'm going to cut another little strip of it just to add a little bit extra. I did sort of pull it a little bit as well, so it's a bit spooky spider webs. And just have it tucked around there, and I might just attach it at the back. So that it doesn't go anywhere. So it's probably easier to put a bit of tear and tape on it. So I'm going to rip a bit of this off. Might have been better to have attached this before I put it on here, but you have these ideas afterwards. There we go, so just a little hint of some kebwabs there, as my children used to call them. And then I did make some other little characters that could be stuck on. You may have seen my little Dracula that I cased from Susan Campfield, and I thought that it might be quite nice to stick a little Dracula on there. And then I also made a little Frankenstein. I've done a cheeky little Frankenstein as opposed to a scary one, because if this is going to be used at a children's party, you don't really want it that scary, do you? So that was my thoughts, and I thought we want to stick this together in some way. So I've had a little thought, and I had a little look at my punches, and I remembered this one, and I thought that's quite gothic, and it reminded me a little bit of a tombstone. So I cut one out, a basic grey, and cut the fancy bottom off, and thought that looks quite good behind one of my little characters, and then that would sit on there quite nicely, and you'd still be able to see your Happy Halloween. Or I could put it on the side. So quite like that as an idea. And then I thought, what about a big tombstone behind? And I cut out, using my playful alphabets, R.I.P. And I thought, oh, that would work. So we're running with that idea. So I've got some basic grey, and I'm going to cut a strip, and they are, let me just double check because I now can't remember. It's basically, yes, it's 1 3/4 inches wide. So I'm just going to cut a 1 3/4 inch wide strip. So I don't know how long I want it. So this is the width of A4, so that's 8 1/4. And then I'm just going to punch this. I quite like this fancy end, so we're going to feed this. It's probably easier to feed it this way and then pull it out. I just think that's quite a nice little fancy tombstone head with rest in peace on it. As a backdrop. So got to decide how far up this we want it to be. So probably about there. So what are we looking at? Going to do some scoring at, what should we say, 5 inches. So I'm going to score that at 5 inches. Stick it up like that. So that's going to be on there like that. Yep, that will work quite nicely. We want something to stick that on, so I might put a bit of a band across here so that I've got something to stick that on. A little bit of basic black here, which I'm going to trim. There's a edge there. I'm going to trim that off, cut to about 1 inch. So if I make a little triangle for this to sit on, then I've got something at the back to fasten this onto. So we need to measure across here. I am properly thinking on my feet here, guys. I do apologise for not having worked this out completely. Let's just do it like that. So about 4 centimetres. So about 1.5 inches across the middle. So then these measure about 1.5 inches as well. Yeah. So we'll go 1.5 inches. One and a half inches. Another 1.5 inches. And then we can form ourselves a little triangle, like so. That these end bits can glue onto, and then this has got a flat bit to stick onto. Cooking on gas. Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm gonna have to remember what I've done so I can write it down. So I'm just gonna glue that. Probably don't need that much. I'm gonna snip a bit off. So let me measure this so I know what I've got. So I've got a 5-inch piece. Let me write it down. So it's 5 inches by 1 inches. Score at 1.5, 3, and 4.5. That's what I did. So we're going to stick along those two sides. So we've got a bit at the back. So put some glue down there. And then that will stick at the back there and hold it all together. So I can snip a bit of this grey off, unless I have Dracula. Oh, cooking on gas. Just have Dracula on there and not use Frankenstein. And I thought I had was I might emboss this in brick and then it looks like a tombstone. So that's embossed. So that can stick on there, and then we can have Count Dracula coming out there like in that. So we need to stick the RAP on the top here. Got a bit of brickwork there to follow. So glue on the back there. I'm going to put some glue on these corner bits. And then actually I could pop him up a little bit. So we could put some dimensionals on the back. Not sure if I want 2 or 3 layers. So if that's 2 layers, I think that will work. What I might do is put 1 on the bottom and then make this 3 layers. And I think this would look lovely on any Halloween party table or in the windowsill. So, had a vision and ended up with something a little bit different. I said I do have my Frankenstein, but I don't think we really need it. I think we're good with that. I can use that on something else. So what do you think? So hope you like that. Hope you're able to follow it. And I hope you go and check out what everybody else has done. And do go and spread some crafty love. Give them some likes, give them some shares, give them some comments. And yeah. And I'll be back with you with another video very soon. So thanks for joining me. I will link to all the products that I've used down below. But what a lovely sort of half-term project that you could do. So you've got time to order the bits in to get crafting with your kids in half-term. Okay, see you again soon. Bye.